Now, since making his movie debut in Animal House, my first guest has appeared in such films as Footloose and Apollo 13. Starting tomorrow, he can be seen in Mystic River, which is getting absolutely great rave reviews. Please welcome Mr. Kevin Bacon. Thank you. Okay. Is that someone just screamed out, "Yeah, Footloose"? Like they just got around to seeing that movie.
That's usually my response. Have you been out in the last 15 years?
I know, exactly. You've done other things. But you know what? Did you ever think, I mean, when you made that, I mean, here's someone who's screaming out Footloose. That's when you're 90. And they're checking you into the old age home. Yeah. Someone's going to go like, "Hey, Footloose."
Yeah,
no matter what else, if you have the Nobel Peace Prize, they'll still say that to you.
That's true. I'll be hopping around on my walker, you know.
Yeah. Now you actually even when you did Will and Grace last season, they got you to sort of reprise the moves in Footloose.
Well, yeah, they were going to get a choreographer, and I said, "Boys, I'll do it myself." So me and Eric kind of worked out this goofy little thing. It was a lot of fun though, because I mean, you know, they have great writers on that show, and they made a lot of fun of me, and it was a lot of fun. They
seemed bitter somehow.
No, not at all. No, it was great. I mean, they called me up and said, "So you're going to be playing. It's a little bit of a stretch from you. You're going to be very vain and self-centered and cheap." These were the three, and I was like, "Man, no stretch there."
Right. I got that handled. Did you go see Footloose when it was on Broadway? Mm-hmm. You did.
I did, yeah. I went backstage and said hi to the kids.
I hope you didn't do it like that. I just wanted to say hi to you kids.
Yeah. No, it was great. They were, yeah. No, it was great. We had a great time.
Did you, were you tempted at all during a musical number to jump up on stage and bust it out in front of everybody?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, it did make me feel kind of old, because there was just so much enthusiasm, you know.
Right.
I don't think I could muster that much enthusiasm anymore for anything.
You mean while you were doing the Footloose dance, you'd be kind of looking around and chewing gum, like
No, just at these kids who were so, like, they were so into it. It was great. And you know, they're doing high school productions all over the country now, because it's a perfect show for a high school production, right? Because there's a bunch of, you know, young high school kids in it. So everywhere I go, people are like, you know, "Would you please come to see opening night of Footloose?" And you know,
let me guess, that's down south.
No, you picked that up.
Yeah. I'm always thinking and trying to
well, you know,
take it to Rhode Island. A woman will jump, "I spotted you!" Yeah. You know, it's funny, because when I read in the intro and I mentioned that you were in Animal House, I always find it hard to believe that you were in Animal House, because, you know, we're contemporaries, and yet that movie is like 1978. You must have been really young when you did that movie.
I was about, I wasn't all that young. I was about maybe 19 when it came out, about 18 when I did it. But I was in acting school, so I didn't have an agent or anything. And they came to the acting school, and they said they were looking for, I'll never forget this, "We're looking for preppy freshmen wet behind the ears." That's the way they described the character. And so the guy sent me over right away. And I met John Landis, who was the director. And John said, "Can you be smarmy? Do a smarmy, you know?" And I didn't have any lines really to audition for, so basically I was making faces, you know, and I didn't really know what smarmy meant. It wasn't in my vocabulary at that point. So
How did you do it if you don't know what the word means?
It was like an oxymoron, you know. I just did what I thought sounded like smarmy, so I kind of went, you know, I just made like a face that to me kind of sounded smarmy.
You're like, "You're the constipated guy."
Right.
Right.
But the amazing thing was that then I got a call back, so I'm like, "Hey, my first call back for a movie," and I go, and he goes, "Do the smarmy." You know, that was basically my callback.
Right.
You know, and I got, but I got the gig, so.
You got it, just going like that. That's so, and what was it, I mean, that's a huge movie to be in. Did you get a ton of money? Did you,
Well, I mean, to me, it was a ton of money. Well, the casting director called me up and said, you know, I guess normally you would negotiate with the agents, but I didn't have one. So he called me up and he said, you know, you have to be out here in a week and you're getting scale. And I said, great, that sounds great. And I hung up the phone and I said, I wonder what scale is. But it wasn't that I didn't know how much scale was. I didn't really know what he meant.
What he meant by scale.
Yeah, I thought maybe I was going to get on a scale or, you know, I didn't know. I mean...
You didn't know a lot of words back then. That's good.
That's true. Well,
Get on a plane. Tell me about this plane.
No, it's true. I mean, I tell you the truth, I barely made it out of high school,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and you know, but you know what? I got more words now.
Right. I got smarmy and I got
I know things like, you know, preposterous. I just learned that one last week.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's cool, but it must be nice now.
I threw oxymoron in there.
Yeah, I didn't know what you meant. I just was like, yeah, tell me more. You got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
That I did.
I'm curious. I'm always curious. Who's your neighbor? Because whenever I've walked down the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you always look at. I know that if I ever had one of those, I'd be concerned with who am I next to. Do you know what I mean? Like, who are the two stars around me?
Yeah, so, like, there goes the neighborhood. Somebody gets, if there's a blank you don't want, someone that you wouldn't want to live next door to. But on one side of me is someone who I don't know her name because I never heard of her. I'm going to look into who it is.
Right. That's very responsible of you.
Yes, I really should.
Kids, you should know who you're next to on the Walk of Fame.
Yeah. And on the other side is June Lockhart, who I was actually in a movie with called The Big Picture.
Right.
Many years ago, and
she was the mom on Lost in Space, right?
She was,
yeah,
yes,
yeah. She's
so
great.
that's cool. Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, speaking of coming up with celebrity names, there's that famous game that people play, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. We've talked about it. Well, you've heard of it. I just found out today when talking about you with the producers that someone said there's an actual board game.
There was a board game and there was also a book that was done. This is quite a few years ago, and I guess it was kind of the guys that made up the game. They sort of had a moment when they kind of went into business and wanted to whatever they made it up was cool. They wanted to make some money on it, but you didn't really need it, to play the game. It's more of just kind of a concept. So I don't know. You
didn't need to like spin a wheel. Did you make any money off that at all? Because they used your name. Yeah.
I don't believe. I don't think so. I mean.
I'd get a lawyer if I were you.
Because they know big words.
Yeah, right. There's this word sue that I think you should know. Let's talk about Mystic River because, a lot of people come through here and they're promoting movies, but I've read a lot about this movie, and a lot of the critics really love this movie. They seem to really like it, and this is Clint Eastwood, and this sounds like a big deal.
Well, the next time I come, I may be lying, but this time I can tell you that it's really a great movie, and I'm really proud to be in it, and Clint Eastwood is an amazing director. He did a great job with the movie, and Sean Penn, Tim Robbins, Lawrence Fishburne, Laura Linney, Marcia Gay Harden, just a dream cast from a great book and a great script. I mean, everything was just clicking.
Clint Eastwood, too, has reached someone I've never met, but he's reached this kind of stature, I think, in the industry that very few people get to.
He's a powerful guy, but he realizes that, he is kind of an intimidating presence. So I think he goes overboard to make you feel comfortable and to make you feel at ease. And I mean, women. I mean, my wife. She's met a lot of famous people, and and she's married to me, for God's sake. And she just.
That was smarmy right there. I think you got it nailed. Yeah.
She was just.
Yeah. But she went to pieces,
She was just falling apart.
Right.
I mean, just like, I literally saw her knees start to, buckle.
Right. Well, I've experienced that many times. I'm lying. We have a clip here from the movie. What do we need to know to?
Let's see. Me and Lawrence Fishburne are a couple of Massachusetts state troopers on a murder case, and I guess that's best I can set it up.
Well, let's take a look at this clip from Mystic River. No, that's a hard accent to get through. I grew up there, and I can't do that accent anymore.
Yeah.
Mystic River opens tomorrow in select cities nationwide next Wednesday, and the Bacon Brothers live DVD is going to be in stores on November 11th. I know that's a real labor of love for you. Hey, thanks so much for coming by. Always fun talking to you. Kevin Bacon, everybody. Vivica A. Fox is coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.